जय राधा माधवा कुंजा बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंजा बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदना व्रज जन रंजना। यशोदानंदना व्रज जन रंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंजा बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदना व्रज जन रंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंजा बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम राम हरे हरे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलादेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय गौरनिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरनिताय। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय सच्चिदानंद जय सच्चिदानंद जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि। जय सच्चिदानंद जय सच्चिदानंद जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि। गौरा गौरा गौर हरि। गौरा गौरा गौर हरि। गौरा गौरा गौर हरि। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो जय गौर हरि। निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो जय गौर हरि। गौरा गौरा गौर हरि। गौरा गौरा गौर हरि। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। नदिया बिहारी गौर हरि। मायापुर चंद्रा गौर हरि। गौरा गौरा गौर हरि। गौरा गौरा गौर हरि। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल शत श्रीमती divine grace ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमती divine grace श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। आनंद कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रीदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगामय यमुनामाई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। Thy go Pramanande, Hari Bo. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Gopal ki jai. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Mutale Sri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidram. नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। बहुत की जय। थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग। रीडिंग फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम, कैंटो 1, क्रिएशन, टाइटल चैप्टर 2। Chapter 2, title Divinity and Divine Service, verse number 8. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टाप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम तत्सत्। Verse number 8. Dharma swanustita pumsam Visvakshena katasuya na utpadayeta dhiratim sramayiva hi kevalam. Dharma swanustita pumsam Visvakshena katasuya na उत्पादयेत् यद्रतिं श्रमयेव हि केवलम्। धर्मस्वनुष्ठितः पुंसां विश्वक्षेना कथासूया न उत्पादयेत् यद्रतिं श्रमयेव हि केवलम्। Word to word translation. Dharma, occupation. Swanusthitah, executed in terms of one's own position. Pumsam, of humankind. Visvakshena, the personality of Godhead, plenary portion. Kathasu, in the message of Ya, what is, Na, not. Utpadayet, does produce. Yadi, if. Ratim, attraction. Sramaha, useless labor. Eva, only. He, certainly. Kevalam, entirely. Translation by Divine Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. Please repeat. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. So, This is the Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse number 8. Om Ajnanativrandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Devataram Paramanandamatam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Vishwantu ki Jai. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। So, this verse specifically, continuing the previous verse, so far, first canto, first chapter, is describing the Saunaka and other rishis assembled in Naimisharanya, asking the 6 questions. What is the ultimate good for the people in general? What is the essence of all the scriptures? Why did Krishna appear in the womb of Mother Devaki and Vasudeva? Narrate the pastimes of the Supreme Lord in connection with his Gunavataras. And also the Leela Avataras, there was the 4th and 5th, and 6th is when Krishna left the planet, where did all the religion has taken shelter. And so these are the 6 questions asked, the first chapter. In the second chapter, we see after praising the recipient, praising the Saunaka and the other assembly of sages, by Sutta Goswami, by asking this wonderful question, very much satisfied from the listeners, from the recipients. And then he offered his obeisances to his spiritual master Sukadeva Goswami, and then also Vyasadeva, Narayan Rishi, Lord Narayana, Suddha Saraswati. And then he started giving the answers. The first one we heard, the answer for the first question, what is the ultimate good for the people in general, is performing the Bhagavat Dharma. Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Eto Bhaktir Adokshadi. The Bhagavatam, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharma. The highest Dharma is performing ultimate good, what anybody can do, not just simply feeding people or giving education, giving clothes, or opening hospitals, or doing some philanthropic work. But the highest thing what we can do is by performing the Bhagavad Dharma, which means developing love for Krishna, and then extend that love, and being compassionate and extend that love, distribute whatever resources, whatever we have, with that thought process to others. Share that love, share that compassion, share the wealth, everything in that way. Because as a Supreme Father, He is giving, so we should share compassionately, because that's what Krishna likes, to share his opulence, and he likes his devotees also to be more compassionate and more loving. So that's what is explained as Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Eto Bhaktir Adokshaya. And it is very interesting to see different names of the Lord is used Adokshaja in this specific verse of 126, 1.2.6. In the next verse we discussed is Vasudeve Bhagavati. Vasudeva is used in the next verse. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Cheta Haitukam. All these are connected. And now in the verse 8 we are saying Visvakshena, third, different words, different names of the Supreme Lord, or his expansions, or plenary portions are being used. Dharmasvanustita Punsam Visvakshena Kadasya. Now Utpadayati Adi Srama Evahi Kevalam. So in the first 6th verse, it is mentioning about the Adokshaja, means first understanding. In order for us to develop this, come to this Bhagavat Bhakti, Bhagavat Dharma, then we must be looking at the beyond the sensory perception, beyond the gross body and sense attachments. That's what Ada Akshaja. Ada Kruta Gnanam Akshaja. So that means we cannot see with our blunt eyes, blunt senses. That means the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, that the skin, these five jnanendriyas, knowledge acquiring senses, cannot be perceive the Lord with the current condition nature unless we approach through a transcendental medium, through a bona fide spiritual master, through in the disciplic succession, and then in the association of devotees, when we hear, then gradually, then we will be able to come to that understanding gradually. So that is the first step. We have to cut through this sensory perception. So that is the first thing we have to do is, in order for us to, that sixth verse is telling, ultimate good is to engage in this Bhagavad Dharma, engage in worshipping the Supreme Lord, engaging the process of Bhakti Yoga. That is the starting point is the chanting. Chanting is the main point. That's why first the tongue and the ear is the most important. So Ata Sri Krishna Namad na bhaver grahyam indriyai, that senses. Indriya sevon mukhe jihvalo swayameva sprotiyada. Sevon mukhe jihvalo. That means the tongue must be used in chanting the holy name, uttering the holy name, and also taking only Krishna Prasad as much as possible. So this way, then we will be able to go beyond. Otherwise, with our material senses, with the attachment, the condition we got, with the ignorance, we will not be able to understand. We cannot go beyond this bodily attachment. So that will be the biggest problem. So that's why that is the first condition has been given here in this specific previous verse. And then the verse number 7, where it is explained that Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga. Okay, what is the result? Why should I perform Bhakti? That we have discussed, but we will briefly discuss. Why should we perform Bhagavad Dharma? Why it is ultimate good? Because it has many benefits, not just Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. It gives Pancham Purushartha, Prema Pumardo Maha. It gives love, so much blissfulness, Ananda Mayo Vyasa. That's what. Why people are going to movies, why people want to go to restaurant, why people want to go to vacation or different places or biking, hiking, whatnot, so many things. Why they want to do that? Because everybody wants to be happy. Because that is the natural quality of the living entity, the soul. All, not only human being, all living species, animals, birds, you name it, all of them. Everybody is looking for happiness. That is why it is Anandamaya Bhyasa. But we don't know what is the actual gives permanent happiness. So that is why it is mentioned as Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Eto Bhaktir Adokshari Ahaituki Apradata Yatma Suprasidat. So why should we perform bhakti? Because it is very auspicious and it removes all the sinful activities. Kleshagni. It removes so many sinful activities, not only this life but all the lives, whatever balances we got, that all can be removed, provided we follow the instruction. We don't want to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Goswami Prabhupada mentions, don't become Dandavat devotee. Dandavat devotee means everybody says Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. And then, but what does it mean, Dandavat Pranam? Bhakti Siddhanta means those who are just come to temple or just and then they will just say Dandavat or offer obeisance, that's it. They don't want to hear. They don't want to follow the instruction. So then that's why he is calling Dandavat, means just on the external periphery. They want to offer obeisances or they just want to come to temple and go. They don't want to hear. They don't want to develop attraction. Then what will it lead? That is the current today's verse. Srama eva hi kevalam. That means only minute, teeny bit of pious credit we are acquiring, and then again we will continue in the next life. So 0.001% again continue. So how many lifetimes will take? And then if something happens, then we must go down again, beyond 100 steps down, and then again we pick up. And so nothing is going to be lost. The credit is there, bhakti always, that is definitely is there. But why to take the risk of chance of losing the time or many lifetimes? So that's why not just saying. So that's why we will not see many times many Vaishnavas, they will not write Dandavat Pranam. Because it is not merely using the word, it has to really be on the practical level. That means the person has to exhibit that specific compassion, specific quality of really He is meant when he says, when he is writing. So that's why many they don't write. They will just say Hare Krishna and all goes to Prabhupada, all goes to Guru and Gauranga. So, or they may say, please accept my respect. That also will not see. First and last we will see. Because they don't want to just merely say the word without really acting on that platform also. So, because most of them they follow this just routine casually, just right, but they don't want to follow. So, that is what is very important here. So, so Kleshagni, Subhada, very auspicious. It removes all the sinful activities and it is very rare. It is very rare to come to Krishna consciousness. It is not easy to come because unless your sinful activities, first layer of sinful activity is done, then only you will come. Te Esham Antagatam Papam. Krishna is mentioning before Bhagavad Gita, before starting the Bhakti Yoga is telling that. Don't worry, only one who has pious credits. Chaturveda Bhajan Tevam Jana Sukrutam Arjuna. Only four kinds of people who has pious credit, then they only come. At least they will start to approach me for various things, because of distress, because wealth is not there, because of inquisitiveness. So, Chaturveda Bhajan Tevam Sukrutam Artha means distress, Jignasu, inquisitive. Artho Jignasu Ardhardi. Ardha means looking for wealth. Jignasu Sreyamatam. In this way, four kinds of people are approaching in this way. But they are Sukrit, they have pious credits. Otherwise, they cannot even come to this platform approaching. They will approach everybody else. So, Sudurlava, it's very rare to come. You cannot find millions of people. You cannot find even hundreds and hundreds of people. You may go, they all go to so many other things, but not to come to Krishna. That is already Shastra is telling. So then Sandrananda Visheshatma, Sri Krishna Atma. Sandrananda Visheshatma means it is a concentrated bliss. Concentrated bliss. That's why bhakti must be performed. And then it attracts including Krishna himself. So that's why the bhakti has so many benefits. So that's why we should perform. Not only that, that further verse is mentioning that why we should perform bhakti. It naturally gives real knowledge, self-realization. It means it gives the transcendental knowledge, absolute truth, paravidya, not aparavidya, not material knowledge. Material knowledge will automatically come. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha automatically will come. We don't need to separately endeavor and perform some religious principles. Separately endeavor. Oh, I should perform this puja, that puja, some austerity, some charity, some sacrifice. We don't need to do separate endeavor. As the minute we perform bhakti, Bilamangal Thakur is telling that. So, Mukti Muklitanjala Sevate Asma Dharmartha Kama Moksha Samaya Pratiksha. So, one who is performing bhakti, automatically liberation and Dharma Artha Kama Moksha stands at doorstep. So, that's why we perform bhakti. And the further verse is telling that it automatically we receive transcendental knowledge and also detachment. Both will happen. Vasudeva Bhagavata. So the first one is telling sensory perception. Go beyond sensory perception. Go beyond your bodily conception. And try to, only way you can come out of this bodily designation is by approaching the holy name, by approaching Adokshaja, the Supreme Lord, by using your senses, by using especially the ears and the tongue to chant the holy name, taking Krishna Prasad in the association of devotees. This is the first step. The gross layer, to cut the gross level of ignorance. Then the next level is talking about Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Che Dahayetukam. And this is giving the seventh and sixth, seventh verse and further continue till almost 27, 28 is talking about the verse number 2, answer, question number 2 in the first chapter, which is what is the essence of all the scriptures. What is the essence of all the scriptures? That is to develop love of God. To develop love of God. That means, what is it mentioned as Evam manah karma prayungte avidya atmana upadiyamane pritirna yavat mai vasudeve deha yoge muccheta na muccheta deha yoge tavat. So generally the living entity, the mind is our mind and the senses are subjugated by the fruitive activities because of influenced by the ignorance. Evam mana means mind, karma, fruitive activity, karma prayukte. Because avidya atmane upadiyamane. Avidya means ignorance. Upadiyamane, it is completely filled with ignorance in the mind and senses. So then that's why, but if you use that mind, same mind, even though it is crippled and it is still so many speculations, so many things are mind is telling us to do, but if we can bring that mind somehow or the other, bring it to Krishna's service, then naturally, then automatically, Pritirna yavat namayi vasudeve. Somehow or the other, we have to develop the love. Otherwise, it is simply waste of time. You cannot liberate. If there is gross conditioning, the subtle conditioning, the disturbances, the distresses, whatever we go through many lifetimes, that will continue on for another life. This will go on eternally. So that's why we have to make that conscious choice. So that clearly is mentioning that Rishabhadev is mentioning, instructing his sons before they want to get married, they want to become kings, and Rishabhadev is instructing them the instruction to make sure that they understand the Supreme Lord. The divine intervention is needed for each and every activity. So that's why here it is mentioned Vasudeva. Vasudeva Bhagavati. Vasudeva means consciousness. So if you really want to develop higher consciousness, you want to become a transcendentally situated or beyond, go beyond your body and mental, the mind, gross and subtle, and go to the spiritual level, the conscious. Vasudeva is represent. Vasudeva is in charge for consciousness. There is the Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. There is four Chaturvyuha. Krishna is expanding Balram, Balram expanding as these four Chaturvyuha. Each one takes care of certain things. Vasudeva is for consciousness, Sankarshana is for ego, and then Pradyumna is for intelligence, Aniruddha is for mind. So, mind. So that's why Vasudeva is here specifically is mentioned. We have to develop love for Vasudeva. That's what the second question answer. What is the essence of all the scriptures? Is to revive our lost relationship with Krishna. That is our original relationship. Just like when the rain water is clear, as soon as it touches the ground, then it becomes muddy. Because same as originally our consciousness is originally pure, but we have made, because we want to become the master, we want to enjoy separately from the Lord, and then we started associating and performing as thinking we are the master at the gross and subtle level, and deviated from the Supreme Lord's instruction and our original position as a servant of Krishna. Then automatically, then we are in this material world, going on in many lifetimes, many different types of births, different species of life, different branches of the universes and planets and countries and whatever you name it. It's a big banyan tree of a big universes, so many universes, so many planetary systems, so many planets, and within the planet, so many countries and so many species of life. You can imagine how many species of life, how many lifetimes we have gone through. So that's it is very important to understand this aspect and perform. Then further it is mentioning that the ultimately to revive that love for Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kavanoi Sravanadi Suddha Chitte Karagudaya. We have to develop that lost relationship is by Sravanadi Suddha Chitte. That means we have to hear. That is coming up in this verse. So specifically here the verse number 7 is speaking about Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayada Abhideya. Okay, you understood. Theoretically, we understood that we have to perform Bhagavad Bhakti. We have to perform attached, somehow engage in Bhakti Yoga. But then, not theoretically knowing is not enough. That's what verse number 7 is telling. Knowledge is not itself is enough. 7th and 8th also. This Dharma Swanastita Pumsam also. Yes, we are situated. We have the knowledge. But knowledge is yes, I will receive the knowledge. But if it is not going to develop love, then it is a waste of time. It means not just simply don't become Dandavat devotee, don't just receive and do nothing, but act on it. That's it. And then also it also means in Bhagavad Gita Krishna is talking, and the Srimad Bhagavatam is also talking the same thing, where Krishna is telling, don't renounce activities, and perform activities with devotion. There are two types. One is renouncing the activities, and other one is performing activity, offering it to the Lord. But in that also there are two different things. One, some may perform, first he will surrender, and then he does activity. That means he is doing on behalf of the Supreme Lord. He is thinking, before starting any activity, he is thinking, I want to do this activity, please give me a blessing, give me instruction. So that I can become a better person and I can do better, and this activity, this particular whatever engagement, it will be used to serve you better, to in that way, to develop love for you. So that in that way he is first of all submitting himself, surrendering, and then he is performing activity. But the most of the time you find the second type of person who is doing everything. This is karma kind of vichar. That means mostly those who are performing Mishrama Bhakti. That means Mishra Bhakti means it is tinged with fruitive activities. Bhakti mixed with fruitive activity. What will happen is they are thinking, okay, I will perform the activity. If I get money, then I will donate. Or if I do this business will come out nicely, then I will offer there some results. Or whatever. It could be IT job, it could be many things. That means before itself is not surrendering. Before itself he doesn't want to follow the instructions of the Supreme Lord after hearing. That means Gnana itself is not alone, is enough. The knowledge, that's why it is mentioned, it must lead to the detachment. So that's why in the first 6 chapters Krishna is saying, first I have to give you the knowledge, because now you lost your relationship. Arjuna, you lost your relationship with me. You don't even know, because you are still keep on identifying with the body. My Bhishma, my Drona, my Karna. What about me? I am your Supreme Master. I am the one who has given the seed. I am the one who has given you this body. What about me? You forgot me, and then you went to your own family members. You are thinking as a differentiated from me. That means you are seeing things independent of Krishna. So many times we do that also, because as we grow up, we want to leave parents, and because you will leave parents and we want to go somewhere. Many times it happens, especially after marriage, it happens even more, 99% of the time, even though they might be close. Okay, it doesn't sink, and Kali Yuga it's even more rampant. It's very difficult. 99.9% you'll see this. They don't want to be with the parents. They don't want to spend time with the parents, because that is some precarious condition in this Kali Yuga. But we have to understand, whether we like it or not, husband and wife will like it or not, we have to spend time with parents. So because even whether they are giving good instruction or not, because they are the one who has given the birth, we have to be very compassionate, because that is our job also. Putra means one who can deliver the father. That's why they are looking for kids. That is the one the Shastra is telling. So Putra's job is to one who takes away the father and forefathers from the hellish condition of life, because he is going to offer the samskara, pinda pradhan, where they are offering to Vishnu and is serving Vaishnava, then they will get liberated from their condition, distressed state. So that is the benefit. So that's why there is a very important instruction basically. So that's why Gnana means knowledge. Yes, more we become knowledgeable, more we become nice job, we get business, we get a lot of money, we promote it to the next level, then we forget our parents, we forget what they have done from childhood. So we somehow or other get caught up with the attachment of the body level, we really forget the actual source. And Arjuna also same way is acting, that he was thinking about Vishnu, he forgot Krishna's instruction, he forgot his own duty of Kshatriya Dharma, he is moving away, he wants to renounce. That's why Krishna is telling, don't renounce your activities. Prapanchikata buddhya hari sambandhi vasana mumukshu varityago falgu vairagyam kati. This is the false renunciation. This is Markata vairagya. So same thing is explained in Bhagavad Gita 5.2, I think. Nishreyasa karma sannyasat karma visishyate, karma bhav. Out of these two things, one is renouncing activities, another one is work in renouncement of work, and another one is work in devotion. Out of these two, both will lead is good things, but out of these two, work in devotion is good, because knowledge itself, the renouncing doesn't mean you will develop love for Krishna. Doesn't mean it is going to take you to transcend your modes. Many times we see that people renounce things, they will just give up everything what they do. They will open hospital, they will do philanthropic work, and then after some time they are not satisfied. And they will do so many other irreligious activities. They are not satisfied, they are not happy internally. It doesn't lead, because they don't have higher nature. They haven't developed any taste for the serving the Supreme Lord. They are not seeing in relation with Supreme Lord. So automatically it cannot give ultimate happiness. Temporary happiness you will get, yes, by serving people, but that is not going to cause ultimate happiness. So that's why Krishna is mentioning it must lead to detachment, internal detachment. It is not external detachment. Externally we shouldn't renounce. So that's what Krishna is mentioning. So that's why we should understand this carefully. That means we shouldn't renounce our relationship with parents, we shouldn't renounce our relation with our friends. Yes, there could be intimate association or a little bit association that we can choose ourselves. But then we shouldn't renounce our family duties, we shouldn't renounce our job duties. Whatever duties we have, we should perform that. That's what here it is mentioned. Because otherwise, Charvak Muni is giving atheistic philosophy. There are three layers. The gross layer, the one who is engaged in this bodily concept of life, is performing, is thinking that karma, fruitive activities. That's what he is thinking. That is my dharma. My occupation duty is to perform simply fruitive activities. And there are many sages, many people give this philosophy, karma mimamsa theory. And then this Charvaka Muni is a sage, but he is giving this: live, enjoy life to the highest extent. That's it. Until the last minute you enjoy. Beg, borrow, steal, but enjoy. That's what his theory is. This is the karma mimamsa theory. Just perform, just enjoy your life, nothing else. After this, everything is finished. After this, at the time of death, everything is finished. So this is based on the fruitive activity, on the bodily, gross body. And those who are in this is karma, karma kanda vichar, not karma yoga, karma kanda vichar. Then the second layer, those who are operating on the mental layer or the subtle layer, then they are operating on the speculation. They are operating on the imagination, mental speculation or imagination. This is Gnana Yoga. That means they have knowledge, but they don't. It's just like Ravana. You see, we think that he doesn't have knowledge, but no, he is fully qualified. He knows all the Shastra. He knows all the Shastra. He knows in and out of Shastra. But then his knowledge is full. That means he doesn't know what is the ultimate cause of that knowledge. What is the result of that knowledge? That's why knowing just the knowledge is not enough. We must implement. We must act on that platform. That means it must be not only sambandha, understanding the relation, understanding the theory, but it must be in practice. Otherwise, future will be very much meager, very much what you call. It will not be bright. It will be, our attempts will be futile. Future will be. We may get the same body, or we may not even get the same body. We may get lower species of life. You may not even get this kind of bank balance, whatever we got, certain beauty, certain opulence, whatever, certain family we got. Even that also we will not get in the next life. We don't operate on this, at least come to the conception of the soul. At least go beyond the gross level. That's why it's going one step after another. This is 6th, 7th, and 8th. So don't be on the gross level. That's why we have to offer our senses at the adokshaja and offer chanting and chanting the holy name of that is the first main thing. Using the tongue on taking Krishna Prasad. Then he is going next level, Vasudeva consciousness. In order to go beyond this, go beyond the mental speculation, then we have to come to the engage in our practical level. That means some service. Physical service also must be done. Other than chanting and hearing, after receiving the knowledge, you must apply. That's why it is above the sambandha, there is abhideya. Knowing the Bhagavad Bhakti is good, but we have to act. That means there should be some service we have to do at home and at the temple also, whenever possible. Not everybody situation is same, so but we should take opportunity and whatever service. Sometimes it may not be temple service. We can do so many ways. You can do online also. You can try to give the knowledge. Try can distribute the books. You can try to distribute prasadam. Try to connect them to local temples and local devotees. So whatever, so many ways we can help others by simply sitting at home also. Only if we have that thought and inclination and interest, want to help follow Krishna's instruction, then only. Nacha tasmat manushya kachin me pre. One who is giving my knowledge, one who is distributing about my name, pastimes, and about me, then he is the most dear. Krishna is telling more dear than even his expansions. So that's why it is very important. So merely just having the knowledge, renouncing things is not good enough. So in order for to have a bright future, otherwise the child will also do. He wants to play, simply play on, without following the instructions. So without following the instruction, father makes sure because if he doesn't do his job, what is child's job? He has to go to school and learn things. He has to perform. If he doesn't follow, then what is going to happen? Then the father tells him. If we don't study properly, if we don't use the time properly, we don't know what kind of job you are going to get. Don't suffer like me. At least you better study nicely so that at least you get a better job, you will be well situated. That means he has to perform proper occupation duty properly. That is the child's job. Same way for the human being, especially those who want to progress, in this case, the occupation duty is to go beyond the bodily level, go beyond the subtle level. Don't be situated on the mental speculation. That means just having the knowledge and without really applying it. That means using it in Krishna's service. So that's why the internal detachment will happen. Until we apply, there is no detachment. It will be staying on Jnana only. Jnana Vijnana Saitam. In order for us to really become realized, not theoretically knowing we are not this body, it must be applied in day-to-day basis. That's why I am saying, first you offer, okay, we are going to get a new job. Before you get, first you have to offer, surrender to Krishna, that you take his instruction, take his blessings, ask his, give right intelligence, whether this is the right job or not, is it going to help me or not. So in that way, then you take up the job, then that means that is actually bhakti. Means you are offering first to Krishna and then you are taking. But you do everything and then you submit to Krishna. Take this. Why did you do this to me? Why did you give this job and then now I am going through so much trouble and disturbance? My manager is not good, or this problem is there, that problem is there. We blame Krishna, we blame God. This difficulty, that difficulty. But we are the one who have made choice before itself. We didn't ask Krishna at that time. So that is not really bhakti. That is, it is a Mishra bhakti. So when things go wrong, that's when we ask God. So that is not good, so good for us. So that's what here. That means knowledge means it must be applied every day. It must be practically implemented in our actions. And that is what here it is mentioned. Then automatically internal detachment will happen naturally. Go beyond the senses, gross and subtle. And then that's why this same thing is explained by Prahlad Maharaj to Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, what did you learn at Sanda Amarka school, demon school? Then he mentioned 9 types of devotion: Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam, Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu, Bhakti Chet Navalakshanam. There are 9 types, and then Bhagavati Adha Aditam Uttamam. This is the topmost. Bhagavati Adha, generally the second verse we don't even remember, but the important point is there only. Directly or completely. Adha means directly or completely. Indirectly means you do everything and then you ask Krishna, why did you give can you change the result? Can you now fix the problem? I am going through some trouble. Can you fix the problem? No. But what happened before starting? What happened to your practice of every day? All of a sudden at the end, if you didn't practice your education, you didn't practice for your exams, and at the last you ask God, can you pass me the exam? Is that a fair ask from our side? No, it is not fair ask. So that's why Krishna here clearly, it is Shastra is clearly mentioning, you must practice it. That's what here. Vasudevi Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayoja Janayat Asu Vairagyam. That internal detachment will happen when you apply it on regular basis. Then further it is mentioned that occupation duty. Dharma Swanustita Pumsam. That dharma means, it is mentioning as dharma means faith in English terms, but faith can change anytime. You can be in Hindu for some time, then you can become Christian, or you can become something else. But that is not the actual dharma. That the actual dharma is one of the occupation duty which doesn't change. So dharma of a living entity is servant of Krishna. Jivya Swarupa Nityar Krishna Das. Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Eternally we are part and parcel. Sarva Yonishu Kavante Sambhavanti Murte. Tasha Mahat Brahma Yoni Aham Bija Pradapita. Again and again we see throughout Bhagavad Gita. But we try to give all arguments. But Krishna is saying, I am the Supreme Father. Then we want to be detached from the Father. That's why we are here in this material world. So otherwise, why the prison house is there in each and every place? Though how much is the prison? Only one little bit place in a city or in a country. Only those who doesn't follow rules, that's when they will be pushed to prison house. Still again and again he comes out, and again he will perform the same cheating and illegal act. Then again he will enter into, because he is thinking that is good thing. Why should I follow all this? They have a sense. I can do this. He has so many speculation. There is so much ignorance. And his knowledge is being taken away. Like Ravana's, even though he is fully educated, Gnana is there, he is not applying in a right way. He is not following direction of the Shastra. He is using his speculation. So that speculation must be given up. So that is why under the guidance of the devotees, advanced devotee or spiritual master, we must perform devotion. Otherwise there is no way we can progress. We can try to use our own intelligence and try to come up with our ideas, but it's not going to work. That's why when Prabhupada got initiated, what did his spiritual master told? This boy is good because he is constantly hearing. He always, whether he understands or not, he is constantly hearing. That hearing is the first process we must develop. And then it must be directly applied and completely. That means not later stage, in the beginning stage itself. Komaram Achret Pragno, at the beginning stage of life, not at the end of stage of life, not at the end of the exam. When the exams come, then you cannot ask God, can you help me now? No, it cannot happen. That is too late. And so that's why we have to use the free will. Dharma Swanustitam. So, and many speculations will be there in the Shastra, many, this Charvak, Muni, and many sages we see. That's why Shastra is telling, Srutayo Vibhinna, Nasa Manujjasa Matam na Binnam. Mahajanasya yena gatasya panta. Only by Mahajanas we can know Shastra. We can know how to perform bhakti. Not through any what you call Gautama, Kanada, atheistic Kapila, Patanjali. So many different types of processes being given. Atheistic Sankhya Yoga and Yoga Sutras. So many things, but none of them is going to lead to actually transcendence, especially attaining our original Swarupa and reviving our lost relation, developing love for Krishna, love for God is not going to happen. So that's why bhakti is the only way we can develop love. That's why Krishna is telling that Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gnanavan Maam Prabhaddhita Vasudeva Samahatma Sudurlava. After many lifetimes of these jnanis, those who are in the speculative mind, they don't want to apply that knowledge in serving Krishna. They see everything as independent. That's why it's called Nirbheda Brahmanusandhana. They want to merge into God, or they want to become God. So that is the biggest problem. And the next level is the yoga. That means they want to, even those who are meditating on Paramatma feature, that they also will merge on to Brahman effulgence, Viraja river. So then they think there is no individuality there, there is no variety there. So then they have to fall down again from that position, again come back to material world. So that's why, so we have to understand the dharma by the Mahajanas, by the spiritual masters, by the advanced devotees. Then we will know what it is. The occupational duty means our original position is servant of Krishna. And that service is the main quality. Our original intrinsic quality is serving the devotees, serving the Lord. and devotees. That's why we are serving. Wife is serving husband, we are serving friends, we are serving parents. Somebody is serving. A is serving B. That's for sure. Whether however it is, whether between friends or other living entity, one living entity, another. So that is our original nature. If we can transfer that attachment to Krishna, serving Krishna and then others, then naturally our real relationship will be revived. Our consciousness will be developed. We can go beyond then these agitations will not be there in the mind. Otherwise the agitation every day will have something or the other. So many problems. Because the problems will be there. Because of the past karma we are suffering now, whether it's family problem, job problem, health problem. These problems will come for sure, without a doubt. Everybody will go through. At a certain age, certain stage of the life, whether beginning or middle or later or at the end. Because that's what we have done in the past lives, so that what we will get. Because that is karma. Nobody else can take that karma. That's why our friends, families, nobody can take that. Only who can help? Only Krishna can help. So he can karmani nirdhat kinchu the bhakti vajam. Only Krishna can take away the karma. Only provided we are surrendered, we are ready to offer ourselves at his lotus feet, then that's when this will happen. Otherwise, this is Navaratri. That's what Durga Devi's job is, to keep us in this with these 10 hands, 10 directions. She is making sure that we are grounded here in this material world with fruitive activities. So Srushti Sruti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Eka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibhakti Durga. Our job as external energy, our job as a Maya Shakti, our job is to keep living entities who wants to again and again come out and do the same thing again and again, like a prison house. Prisoner is coming out, doing the same thing. He is not learning lessons. He doesn't want to change. He doesn't want to follow instruction of prison ministry's instruction, how to reform. Even though he is doing something here and there, he is following little activity, but again the tendency is not going away. He really doesn't want to change. He is liking the way he is doing. So that's the same thing again and again. He is entering into prison house, coming out. So same thing is happening. Durga Devi is making sure that we are in this prison house of Durga Dham, material world, life after life. So only way it can come out is when you take shelter of the superior Prakriti. That is Srimad Radharani, who is the servant, who is she is always assisting. She is the actually the happiness, internal happiness of the Supreme Lord. Ananda is coming from the starting from Srimad Radharani. She is the in charge, internal Yoga Maya. Mahamaya is Durga Devi and Yoga Maya is Srimad Radharani. Durga and all the Lakshmis are the expansion of Srimad Radharani. She is the internal potency of the Supreme Lord. So that's why by taking shelter of the Supreme Lord and his representative, so Srimad Radharani and the spiritual masters are the representatives of the Srimad Radharani and Nityananda Prabhu. So by serving through the advanced devotee and spiritual master, we will be able to come to that original dharma, our original constitutional position. Dharma swanustita pumsam Visvakshena Kadasya. That Kata means it is mentioned here now. You have to use the ears, hearing. One must hear regularly, every day. Somehow or other, sometime we must hear regularly. Visvakshena, why Visvakshena is used? Visvakshena is how Visvakshena is serving. He is the plenary portion of Mahavishnu, plenary portion of Lord Narayan. So it is mentioned in the beginning of Vishnu Sahasranam. We will see that Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sejavarnam Chaturbhujam. Then Yasya Dhurata Vaktradya Parisadya Parasitam Vignam Nignant Satatam Vishvakshenam Tamasraye. So where it is mentioned about Visvakshena, how Visvakshena is in charge of all so many lieutenants, so many horse-faced, elephant-faced, and the what do you call this 2 tusks or 4 tusks or so many. He is in charge of so many assistants of the Lord. He is the commander in chief. At one time when all the sages were in a trouble, they are about to lose. That's when they approached the Supreme Lord, and then he is the one of the main associate of the Mahavishnu. Then he said, if you give me permission, O my Lord Narayan, then I can do the job on your behalf. Then Mahavishnu has granted that boon. So that's when he is called commander in chief. So any puja we perform, any sacrifice we perform, so then Visvakshena Aradhana is performed. Visvakshena, even when we do the yajnas, the nursing yajna, whatever yajna we perform, Lord Visvakshena has been established. He has the four hands, Chaturbhuja, but he doesn't have Srivatsa. Srivatsa is only there for Lord Narayan. Mahavishnu only has. Even though we may get liberated, we may get Samipya or Sarupya or Salokya, that means same planet as Lord, same opulence as Lord, same form as like four-handed form as Lord, but we will not have a Srivatsa on the chest. That is only for the Mahavishnu. That is differentiation factor when we look. So that and many other things, but that is the main biggest difference we can see externally when we understand. So in this way, Visvakshena is the commander in chief, and all the garland, whatever Lord is offered to the Lord, even before, first Visvakshena is in charge. Before we performing Brahmotsav or any also, Nityotsav, Masotsav, Samvatsarotsav, every day, whatever we perform throughout the year, whether it's Brahmotsav, whether it is your Janmashtami, Balaram Jayanti, you name it, whole year, the Visvakshena is being first worshipped. Even when they take out the Lord, also Visvakshena is the first one they take out to the outside, the periphery of the temple, and then he is the one making sure everything is right or proper or not. And then even when we get, okay, these many books distributed, this much donation has come, that is announced to Visvakshena. And then Visvakshena is submitting to Lord Narayan. Today's this much money, this is donated in the treasury, and this is what devotee has done that. So then he sees how everything is. Then he is giving that. He is explaining it to Lord Narayan. That is his job. He is commander in chief. He is overseeing everything for the Lord, and he is receiving all. Even the Nirmalya of the Lord Mahavishnu, and he is get first. So say Mahaprasad also in this way, Visvakshena is being offered this worship is as similar to Ganesha. But he is in charge of all so many Ganesha, so many assistants and associates throughout the world. So he is the prime. That's why he is called commander in chief for Lord Narayan. So that's why here it is meant. That means we must take shelter of the spiritual master. We must take the shelter of the representative of the Supreme Lord and serve how Visvakshena is being served. How Visvakshena is serving Mahavishnu. So how he is using every day, he is making sure and he is reporting back. He is not thinking he is independent. He is thinking he is dependent. He is taking his mercy, taking his instruction and then implementing it. That is his job and his commander in chief. So that's why this verse is used. And we have to develop. That means we have to hear and we have to implement those instructions. Whatever we hear, Krishna is telling, don't renounce your activities and perform your duty. That means your family duties, your job duties, duty of the parents, whatever we are in different positions, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas, whatever. That is one thing, but we have to go beyond whatever situation we are in. So gnane prayasam udapasya namantayam sanmukaritam bhavadiya vartam sthane stuti gatam tanuvan manobhir. So whatever situation we are in, whatever ashram we are in, doesn't matter. But ultimately we should try to serve Krishna. Sthane stuti gatam tanuvan manobhir. So we have to hear from the realized souls and then implement those instructions. That is the main instruction here. Dharma swanustita pumsam Visvakshena katasya na utpadayat evahi kevalam. Many times we may say that I will perform religious principles, I may perform charity, I may perform austerity, but it is not really developing Krishna. That means we are thinking, oh, I perform this charity. That belongs, then we are proud that I perform this charity. That means we are taking the results. We are attached to the results. Arjuna was also attached to it. He is thinking that, oh, they will be killed. Oh, what will happen to me? How will I enjoy? How will I share opulence? So that's what we are also thinking. Oh, I will perform this charity. I will perform this Kartik month or this month is coming. Oh, what? Oh, if I perform, do this, then these results will come. Then we are attached to the results. The idea is everything must be offered. Beginning, the sankalpa is very important. That's why when you perform yajna or puja or any of this, there is a sankalpa. That means if the vyavasaya, in order for us any activity to perform, that's why they worship Ganesha, that's why they worship Lord Visvakshena personalities, because That sankalpa must be strong. When we have a sankalpa, strong sankalpa, before you start anything, then the result also automatically will not be attached to the results, and we will offer everything at the lotus feet of spiritual master and supreme Lord. Otherwise, we cannot do. We will not be have that strong determination. We will not be able to perform. Especially tomorrow is the most important day, Vijayadashmi, where Lord Ramachandra has killed Ravana, which is who is personification of lust and anger and so many unwanted anarthas, whose knowledge has been stolen away. His real intelligence has been taken away. He has the knowledge, but he is not applying it, and then it is a waste of time basically. So many lifetime, so much time he has spent reading the Shastra and then worshipping demigods. Then what was the use? And then he didn't perform his actions properly. So that's why it is very jnana is not only enough. It must lead to detachment. That means it must be there should be application, proper application of that particular knowledge what we are receiving. So that's what Krishna is instructing here for us to be properly situated. Don't be situated on the bodily platform and perform fruitive activity. That means you are attached to results. You will come to temple, you will worship Lord. Then if you give me this benefit, only then only I will worship. Then that is coming under fruitive activities. Then somebody who is in a mental speculation, he wants to renounce. He will take his own decisions without consulting sadhu and shastra and guru. Then that is coming under mental speculation, operating on the jnana platform. But we should operate on the platform of the soul, realize knowledge. That means we will take consultation under the guidance of sadhu, shastra, guru only. We will implement, we will follow every day, and we take sankalpa before Kartik month is starting. Tomorrow is also a very important day, Vijayadashmi. That means anything we start, then that can really give transformational results in our sadhana. It can, let's say they start with the aramba, that many things they do tomorrow on the Vijayadashmi day, because Lord Ramachandra has killed Ravana and established, he gained the victory, and many other things happened on Vijayadashmi day. Ramachandra Vijayotsav they call. And then when he came back to his Ayodhya, then they performed, that is on Deepavali. People are overjoyous celebrating the victory of the Lord. So that is Deepavali coming up soon, also November 12th, I think. Now the second Sunday of the November, Saturday is Deepavali, Sunday is the Govardhan Puja. Very important days both. Diwali, not just simply lighting the lamps, much more significance is there. How to really be enlightened in our soul. Enlightenment of the soul has to come. That means humbly submitting ourselves at the Supreme Lord on that specific day to bring enlightenment. Then he can remove ignorance. Tesham evan kampardam aham ajnanajam tamam nasayam atma bhavastu jnana deepena bhasuta. That means he will remove, even though we may not be educated, we may not understand Shastra properly, or we may have difficulties because of our situations, whatever personal situation, family situation, or job situation, or health situation. It could be anything. So when those situations are there, when we submit fully 100%, offering ourselves, then Krishna can make that transformation in our lives and in our whoever is there surrounding us. He can make that transformation in their heart also. So only he can do. Nothing, not by our own small attempts we can do that. So that's why submitting to him regularly, offering ourselves, and then taking the sankalpa before and after, whether it's Kartik month or any festival, Janmashtami. Now Govardhan Puja is important festival. Like how Krishna has instructed all of them, Nanda Maharaj and everybody, offer everything to this Govardhan, who is giving everything, not to Indra and Chandra and Varuna, all this. Offer, who is actually giving. Krishna himself has expanded as Govardhan. He is indirectly telling basically, worship me, offer everything to me. Then obviously they followed, Nanda Maharaj and everybody followed the instruction. So that means we should also, Govardhan Puja is not simply making the offerings. Actually our heart must be offered at the lotus feet. That is the main important thing, and along with Tulsi leaves. So that means offering ourselves as a servant. Tulsi Maharani is always thinking, I am the servant of Lord Krishna. How I can assist Radha and Krishna in their pastime. That's what she is constantly thinking. In the same way, when we offer, when we put tilak in our body and in our forehead and putting tulsi leaf, that means we are representing, we are servant of God, servant of devotees. So servant of spiritual master, servant of, in this way, so then constantly we have to be reminded in that way, in our offerings, in our sankalpa, and then at the end of the specific festival, specific month, then also we should offer back everything, Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Then naturally we will not be in any way, we will feel any difficulty, any anxiety. Externally many things can go on, so many problems can go on, but internally consciousness will be fully blissful no matter what, but because that Krishna will take care, because we are fully operating, we are fully surrendered at this Lord. Whatever he may do, then it is up to him. So I am fully, he will give the protection, because one who is surrendered, then his Lord is ready to give protection at any cost. Like he has protected Parikshit Maharaj, even though already gone, already Mutra was feeling that in the womb, already lost, miscarriage, she could feel. But Krishna at that time entered in the womb and then he protected. Krishna can do anything like that. It is not a big thing for Krishna. But it is up to us only. Only we, our free will, our choice, we have to make that conscious choice to surrender to Krishna in this way. Then naturally we'll be really become victorious at the platform of the soul. Internally we'll be really victorious, blissfulness. And then whoever is associating with us, naturally they will also become blissful. They will also follow instructions of us, whatever we tell, because that love, we are carrying the Supreme Lord, we are carrying the mercy of the Supreme Lord through representative. Then naturally that mercy, by that mercy, everybody else surrounding it also get transformed. That's what Srila Prabhupada has done, because he is carrying the mercy of his Guru, and whoever he associated, by simply seeing him, simply serving him, simply following his instruction, even though they didn't had knowledge, they are following so many religious principles also, but everybody got transformed because of the purity, because he is carrying the mercy of spiritual master. So by simply following in that footsteps, by performing our duty, not announcing anything artificially like Arjuna, then we'll be really, that is actually the real Dharma means. So that's what here a specific point is being made. Like Visvakshena, how he is serving the Mahavishnu, like that we should also serve the spiritual master, like that we should serve the Supreme Lord as a servant, feeling that I am a servant. So naturally we should do that. That means more we serve devotees, then more we become a servant of the Lord. More we don't serve the devotees, more we feel agitated by seeing devotees, more we see agitated by talking to devotees, then it is not so good. That means there may be devotees who are always in the negative mode, then obviously it's not so good to spend so much time with that mentality. So we can try to avoid that. That job is to Uttamadhikari and Madhyamadhikari, those who are in the authority position, those who are in the spiritual master, that is their job. But for rest of us, it is not our job to associate so much with those who are constantly on the negative mode. Then we are taking that negative mode. Minute we are attached to, associated intimately with those who are in the negativity, automatically we grab their karma also. More we spend time with that negativity, then we will also grab that karma, we will also grab that negativity in our heart also. So immediately the transformation gets checked. So that's it is very important to somehow or other serve devotees. So then Lord will be pleased by seeing our love for the devotees. Then obviously we can love Krishna more. So that's what we see in Lord's plan also. Lord loved so much because Pandavas are always serving devotees. Prahlad Maharaj is always serving devotees. So whoever we see in the examples, they are always ready to serve his devotees in whole Chaitanya Leela, Gaur Leela. So that's why. So ultimately we'll conclude this with this point where the Mahaprabhu is mentioning, or the spiritual masters are mentioning, Gaura Prema Rasarnave, one who is really enjoying in serving the Lord, Chaitanya, Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, is really relishing the serving the Lord and his devotees, then Jave He Dube, that means one who is immersed, is really going in deep, not staying on the upper periphery, just Dandavat devotee, rather actually acting on that platform, then is not going to be evaporated like rainwater mixed into ocean and it gets evaporated again, it come as rain. Not that is Dandavat devotee. That means he is on the periphery, then he is going to get evaporated in this life or next life. That means he will not continue so long because he is still operating on the external level. He is not really going deep. So when the stocks and all these fish they are going deep, they are not getting evaporated. So like that we also have to act deep, go within more and more deep. That means by serving the devotees, Susrusho Siddhadanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi, Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra, Punya Tirtha Nishevana. Only by serving. We see Nagamuni's example, we see Vyasadev's example, we see Pandava's example. Constantly they are serving. That is the only way they could come. That is the best way, that is the easiest way, most easiest way to develop love for Krishna, to become really internally detached from all the whatever situation we are going through, internally be blissful and happy no matter what's going on. So that then automatically things change. Lord arranges everything, whatever we need. Yoga Kshema Vahamya. Only when directly is completely offering himself, not indirectly. But indirectly, Lord also will reciprocate indirectly only. He will not reciprocate directly. He will not reciprocate completely also. Because our faith is not strong. We are not really fully surrendered at that level. Naturally, Krishna also cannot reciprocate. Krishna is saying, to the degree you are surrendering, to that degree only I can reciprocate. Because bhakti is not easily given. So that's why it's mentioned Gaura Prem Rasarnave Jabi Dube, then Sri Radha Madhav Antarangi. Then he will become the confidential devotee or assistant of Radha Madhav. Constant associate. One who is really relishing this bhakti, relishing the service of Lord and Lord's associates like Visvakshena. He is relishing every day as a command. He is not thinking, oh, I am a commander in chief. I am the greatest devotee on this whole universe. He is not thinking. He is constantly saying what I can improve, how I can improve my service to the Lord Narayan. So in that way, same way we operate, then naturally, where is the question of distress? Where is the question of difficulty? Everything can be kicked out because Lord is there. We are carrying His mercy. Naturally, no obstacles can come on our path. So that's what this verse is telling. Now, but if you do the opposite, then naturally we will not develop love. That it is simply waste of time. So we will continue again another lifetime. This will go on. So there is no end to it. So that is what this verse is telling. With that, we'll stop here. Any questions? Any questions on the Google Meet? You can unmute yourself.
No question from my end, Prabhu.
Anybody else? I'm trying to see if anything I missed.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for the very wonderful class and very, very nice points, Prabhuji. My question is, I think somebody is talking. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay. My question is, you were saying like how when we are trying to associate with negative people, we are actually exchanging their karma. We are taking on that negativity, the envy, and etc. qualities.
Yes.
So my question is, when we're trying to preach to, like, say, some family relatives, and they are harboring all these feelings, and then but yet they're going through a lot of painful situation in their life, so we want to help them. So when we are talking and trying to talk about Krishna to them, still we are, we are at the receiving end of these emotions. So how can we protect ourselves at that time, and at the same time how can we even give Krishna properly? So that's my question, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Good question. So for preachers, it's a different story actually. But depending on what type of preacher we are, so as long as we are thinking that I am serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Guru's instructions, then naturally we are protected. We are protected even if some negativity. But wantedly we know that somebody is always being negative, is always trying to speak negative things, then we cut that or we minimize, we reduce that association. But if you are trying to preach, obviously, like our family members or relatives or outside new people, because they don't have proper knowledge, or their situation, they are in a particular situation where they are not realizing what is the reality, what is the real truth, what is the ultimate goal of life, or why they are suffering, what is the cause of this suffering. They don't have that proper understanding, so they might be blaming God, or they may be saying so many negative things. This person has done this, because of that I am suffering. Devotee has done this, or so many things they could say. But as a preacher, yes, we can console, distribute prasadam, and so many ways. It's not a problem. We will not get that negativity at the time, because we are trying to give. As long as we are operating as a servant, as operating as a instrument in the service on the hands of the Guru and Mahaprabhu, then it will not affect. Like Lord Nityananda Prabhu, on the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went into whole Bengal and preached Jagai Madai. So also Jagai Madai, actually Madai hit Nityananda Prabhu with a bottle, wine bottle, and then it got hurt. He started bleeding. Then he told, then Nityananda Prabhu, what did he do? He told, you think that by making me bleed, you think that I will not give you bhakti? So this is you can imagine what is the mercy is carrying. Is carrying the instruction and the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he didn't worry so much about himself, about what has happened, what he has done. So he's simply trying to give whatever Mahaprabhu has come for the reason to give the mercy, distribute the mercy to all, not just only those who are fully given up everything and ready to follow. But here Jagai Mother is so much sinful, so much they don't have proper knowledge. They are Brahmanas, but they so much sinful activity they are performing. So, but they never offended devotees, though they never offended, criticized Vaishnavas. So that is one good thing on their part. So then Lord Nityananda Prabhu showed the mercy. So in that way, so as preachers, it's a different story. But in general context, I am telling, because we may meet people, as it could be friends, it could be sometimes in the office, it could be in a community, it could be different places depending on each person. So we can meet different types of people, and we should try to reduce or minimize that kind of association, or divert the topic. Like Jayananda Prabhu, great devotee of Srila Prabhupada in San Francisco, whenever somebody used to bring negativity, then immediately he used to run away from that. He was not in that association anymore. As soon as somebody is bringing negative things, so when somebody is not there, you are speaking about that devotee negatively, then he used to run away. So that is a good thing, because we want to become attached to Krishna. We don't want to. That's what here Visvakshena Katha means. What kind of Katha? Are we attached to Gramya Katha, or are we attached to Krishna Katha? So that is the main important lesson here Krishna is telling. If you are attached to the Gramya Katha, that means newspapers, politics, and politics of the devotees, or politics of the society, politics of the country, then what is going to happen? What will stay in the heart? Mind and senses, what it will grab more? Dirty things only grab more. So that is what will happen. So that's why it is very important that we feel, we hear. That's why when we constantly hear, at some point of time, hopefully, all our anarthas will be wiped out, and then it will be filled with Krishna Katha. Then at that time, then negativity will not affect us. But right now, the mind and heart and the senses are filled with so much anarthas, contamination. We are already has these anartha, then more we take the intimate association, more we pump in the negative thing, then it is not helping actually. We are going actually in a even a negative direction, going down. It is not really helping our clearing our stage. So that's a very important lesson. So sometimes in a family also, father could be doing more, or son could be a better, more advanced devotee, husband could be advanced devotee, but whoever is advanced devotee, whoever is seriously following, then all others should try to encourage, try to serve, try to follow. In that way, that helps their family and extended family. As we can see, Mahaprabhu is asking, are you the father, are you the son? He is asking Mukunda Datta. Mukunda, and Mukunda's son is Raghunandan Thakur. And he is asking, Mahaprabhu is asking Raghunandan Thakur's father, Mukunda, are you the father, or are you the son? Because Raghunandan Thakur was by his intense devotion when he went out. Mukunda is a doctor. He is performing prescribed duty. He didn't renounce. He was doing doctor, and then he had to go visit somebody to give his medicine. And then his son was there. He's supposed to perform deity worship. He told Raghunandan, you perform in this way. He gave the steps. You put in front of the Lord, you put a plate, and then you tell these things, then Lord will accept. And then he sat in front of the Lord, he offered, then he exactly followed, then Lord was not eating. Because that's what Lord will eat with any of his parts. He doesn't need to eat means fully complete the plate, and just like we do. When we eat, we finish the plate, whatever is there. But Lord, he will eat, but everything remains. Isa vasyam idam sarvam, or purnamidam purnamada. Even despite him giving everything, we came out, we are all is separated part and parcels. Women answer, whole material energy, this material, so many things are coming out, but Lord is full. Lord doesn't need anything. He is not like a material understanding we have. When we take out some 500,000, then still full million is there. No, it is not. 500,000 only is there. That means we are getting reduced. But in Lord's case, that is not. He is fully potent. Nothing gets depleted. 2 minus 2 is 2 in Vaikuntha. So that is the spiritual understanding. So in Raghunandan Thakur's case, he was very much worried. He started crying. He is really asking, hey, why are you not eating? Come and eat. He was really begging, and well, then obviously Lord came personally and then ate, and he was very happy. So his intense devotion. So then Mukunda Datta was testing, and then obviously he also saw Lord coming out and having in his mouth some of the grains left. Then he could understand that he's not ordinary Raghunandan. His son is a better devotee than father. So in this way, Mahaprabhu is also instructing. Sometimes we feel that within the family, we may feel sometimes, why should I follow somebody's instruction? They should follow my instruction. No, it is not the understanding is following Guru's instruction. Whole family must follow Guru's instruction. On top of that, if somebody is more serious than us, or is giving more positive points to really come to Krishna, then we should follow their instruction. It is not that I am instructing or somebody is instructing. It is whether it is helping Krishna consciousness in our life, whatever the positive point, we should take it. Doesn't matter from whom it is coming, whether coming from wife or husband or son or daughter or a friend. Anytime we get even from parents also sometimes different instruction. Lord is arranging these instructions. Lord is seeing, arranging so many different things. Even disturbance also. Everything must be seen as a mercy of the Lord. Some difficulties, disturbance coming means is indicating this life is not, this is temporary. And so many instructions, depending on situation, Krishna is instructing. Sometimes it could be negative thing, but he is instructing. Don't be involved too much into Gramya Katha. Come to become serious, become focused in your activities, duties. Serve carefully, because I have given this family, I have given your parents, I have given certain resources. Utilize it carefully before it is going to be lost. Because minute we don't utilize properly, that's why Prabhupada is very much attached. If water is dripping, then immediately you have to tell who is the in charge of devotees for this. Make sure you switch off that. So, but those who are not means they are not really enthusiastic, then they are not careful. One drop only, what is the big deal? So when we think Krishna seriously, then we look at very carefully, minutely, how Prabhupada looked at. So that's how when we look at everything in a positive direction, everything in a way, as a servant, as a mercy carrier of mercy of the Lord, then as an instrument, as a menial servant, in that thought process, it goes through all the senses. It must be digested in our whole body. And then when we operate on that platform, naturally everything can be kicked out, and then even those who are on the negative mode, then naturally they will come into positive mode in a matter of time. But there will be people, so that only Uttamadhikari can transform them, that we cannot do. Those who are Mayavadi, those who are envious, those who are completely negative, they don't have any they have only minute tinges of devotion to the Lord, then nothing much we can do in that case. We can only do is distribute prasad and nothing. Don't talk too much, don't open the mouth too much with those kind of, because we will know once or twice we talk, we know what is the receptivity. If they are not receptive, keep talking negative thing, keep changing without following our instruction, keep giving instruction, not going to help. It's just it's already, it's like a dead horse. So no point giving instruction. All we can do is just send Prabhupada this dun machine, or send something, books or prasadam, whatever, every month, or whenever you get time, you try to give different things and then see if something works. We try a couple of times, if it doesn't work, what to do? We can only pray for Krishna, pray to Krishna that remove their ignorance, solve their problem, bring them to Krishna. And that is the only thing we can do. That is another thing we should do. We all should do. We should pray for devotees, those who are suffering, and those who are not suffering also. Those whom we know, we should always constantly pray for others. Not just we simply pray for, oh Lord, please take care of my family, please give me this, please protect me, not for ourselves. Then more we think about others, how I can bring other, how I can pray for others. Then Krishna is always looking what is our consciousness. Are we operating selfish, extended selfish, which is, that's what in the whole purport of this verse, Prabhupada is emphasizing that those who are operating concentrated selfishness and extended selfishness, that means he's always thinking my family, my body. So whether I am getting prasad or not, whether everybody else getting prasad or not, I am not concerned. I am concerned only myself. Whether I have a job or not, whether I have a car or not, whether I have this opulence or not, I am concerned about me. I am not concerned about the Lord. I am not concerned about other devotees. I am not concerned about other family. This is not good. So that's what Prabhupada is emphasizing in this particular verse. Be situated in your occupation duty. That means servant of Krishna, servant of the family member, servant of your parents. More we think in that way, then everything looks positive. More we think that I am the master, I am the controller, I am the money earner, then that becomes completely in a different direction. So that's what this verse is telling. So I hope it clarified a little bit. Any further questions, Mataji?
Thank you so much, Rabbi. Very nicely explained. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Anybody else? Already 9:30. It's too late. Tomorrow is an important day. So I think we should stop here. Tomorrow evening is Grace Dravida Prabhu, scholarly devotee. Please take his association. Is giving a class, very important topic also, very confusing topic also. A lot of questions we may have. The topic is fall and the redemption of the soul. Fall and redemption of the soul. That is the topic tomorrow, 7 to 8 p.m. I'll post that. His Grace Dravida Prabhu is a scholar, BBT editor, I think, many other very experienced devotee. So he's from California, South. Uh, so please take his association. He's giving also, following also, Damodaram on first day, 31st Saturday, also is giving class on the Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, verse number 22. And we have His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj is giving class on Sunday, November 1st evening. And the following week, Sunday, is His Grace Amarendra Prabhu is giving class November 8th, Sunday evening. So we'll post those details. But we're trying to arrange as much as possible from other senior Vaishnavas, senior sannyasis, so that by their association we can become more positive, more enlightened, more we bring that enlightenment to others, more we spread this contagious happiness to all. So that is what we have to do. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.